Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Tuesday, March 7, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Milwaukee Bucks vs Orlando Magic. Milwaukee finally lost a game over the weekend, but the Bucks immediately got back on track. They also held a big lead in their loss to the 76ers, so they could easily be riding an 18-game winning streak right now. I am not ready to fade them at this point, as they have covered the spread at an 8-2 clip in their last 12 games. They have also covered in 4 of their last 5 games against Orlando, cruising to a 22-point win as 8-point favorites when these teams met last week. I don't see any reason why the Magic will be better prepared to cover the spread this time around, especially with Milwaukee facing a tight battle for the number 1 seed. Our team pick is Milwaukee -7 points. Milwaukee has gone under the point total in 3 of their previous 5 games and 6 straight on the road. Orlando has gone under the point total in 4 of their last 6 games. Milwaukee and Orlando currently rank 12th and 18th in pace of play respectively. While the previous matchup between these two teams did go over, a significant amount of points were scored when the game was already out of reach for the Magic. Look for Orlando's defense to play a bit better at home this time around. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair. Look for this game to go under. Washington Wizards vs Detroit Pistons. The Washington Wizards have lost 4 of their previous 6 games against the spread, but are 3-1 at TS in the last 4 road games. Detroit has lost 2 of the last 3 games against the spread, but have won 3 straight ATS at home. The Wizards have dominated the series with Detroit recently, winning 6 straight and blowing them out on the road in October. Look for the Wizards to continue their success against the lowly Pistons this time around. Take Washington. Detroit has gone under the point total in 4 of their last 5 games and have failed to score 120 points in 7 straight. Washington has gone under the point total in 5 of their previous 8 games and have gone under in 3 of their last 4 road games. Detroit and Washington currently rank 13th and 20th in pace of play respectively. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair. Look for this game to go under. Philadelphia 76ers vs Minnesota Timberwolves. Philadelphia has been on a tear lately, led by 2 true superstars, but they have to be exhausted coming into this one. That, coupled with the Timberwolves appearing to be heating up, has me favoring Minnesota all the way. Minnesota is equipped to take full advantage of Philadelphia's greatest weakness defensively, defending the rim. They're also much fresher and at home. The 76ers are tough to fade with the way they've been playing for months, but this is a game they're primed to drop due to the schedule. Take the Timberwolves to beat the spread when they win. Our team pick is Minnesota Timberwolves cover. Since December 1, the 76ers have gone 30-12, a winning percentage bested by only one team in that span. It helps that since that date, Joel Embiid is averaging over 33 points and 10 rebounds per game, and James Harden is averaging over 21 points and 11 assists. Philadelphia seems locked into the 3rd seed, but they can still possibly claim the top seed or fall as far as 5th, depending on how they play. Embiid and Harden spearhead an offense that's 6th in adjusted rating. A key cog in Philadelphia's offense is their 3-point efficiency, which is 2nd in the NBA. Overall, their effective field goal percentage is 8th. The 76ers' free throw rate is 3rd in the league, and their free throw percentage is 1st. Their offense is also 10th in turnover percentage. One area where they struggle is offensive rebounding, ranking 27th in offensive rebounding percentage. Our total pick is over the total. Charlotte Hornets vs New York Knicks. Both teams are dealing with a recent key injuries, but so far the Knicks have shown they can adjust much better than the Hornets have. Charlotte looked lost defensively against the Nets, and the head coach even admitted after the game that their effort and energy weren't up to par. Meanwhile, quickly exceeded expectations in a spot start for Brunson. The Knicks are in good shape if Brunson has to miss this game. Charlotte has failed to cover in the 3 games since Ball's injury, and now they're headed to MSG to face a Knicks squad that has covered in 8 straight games and won 9 in a row overall. New York's depth and team defense are too strong for Charlotte, who is coming off of an 86-point performance against a Brooklyn team that is ranked 1 spot behind New York in field goal defense. The Hornets won't score enough to keep up. I like New York to cover. The trends show that these teams are going in opposite directions in terms of a total points projection. The under has hit in each of the last 7 games Charlotte has played. For the Knicks, though, the over has hit in 4 of the last 5 games, and they have an over-under split of 36/29 this season. According to DuncanThrees.com, Charlotte plays at the 4th fastest pace of play in the NBA, while the Knicks play at the 4th slowest pace, even though New York averages almost 4 points per game more than Charlotte. Despite New York's recent surge of overs, I'm going to side with the under in this matchup. I worry about a letdown for the Knicks coming off of a huge double overtime victory, especially because Quickly most likely won't be able to replicate the same kind of production he had on Sunday. I also can't bring myself to bet the over in a Hornets game after they just scored a season low in points, less than a week after losing their best defensive player for the season. I'm taking the under. Golden State Warriors vs Oklahoma City Thunder. Golden State has gone 0-5-1 at TS on the road since their last road win, which just so happened to be that January 30th game against Oklahoma City. It's not a result I believe you can trust to be replicated here, even with the Warriors seemingly having a decided edge on paper. Golden State has just been that bad on the road for too long that taking the points against them continues to feel like the correct thing to do with this game. It is a bit of a sandwich spot for the Warriors after all, as they come off the Sunday showcase in LA, face OKC here, and then head off to Memphis to battle a good Grizzlies team that they've developed a rivalry with. The road issues are too severe for Golden State to completely overlook an opponent in their own building, but they are still reacclimating Curry into the lineup, and with games against Memphis, Milwaukee, Phoenix, and the Clippers as the next 4 up for the Warriors, I only have interest in fading them against OKC. The Thunder have covered point spreads all year long, and similar to the offensive side of things, it's OKC who's slightly better ranked than the Warriors in defensive efficiency as well, 1.103 versus 1.105. Giving me those slight edges with a home team still looking to win games to make the playoffs, who happens to be the best overall ATS team in the league this year, is a betting scenario I'm going to always be comfortable backing. Someone's total streak is going to come to an end here as the Warriors enter on a 7-0 under run, while OKC has gone 5-0-1 in their last 6 overall. Both of the earlier meetings between these two managed to go over the total, as Golden State scored 128 and 141 points themselves in those 2 wins. Golden State is a perfect 6-0 to the over in their 6 true road victories this year, and a league-best 21-8-1 record this year does start to tilt things heavily towards an over-the-total play for this game. Golden State's defensive issues on the road are far from an overnight fix, and OKC is still statistically the more efficient offense overall, so how much fixing could really get done on Golden State's defense here? Oklahoma City is 4th best in the NBA in cashing over tickets at home, with a 22-12 OU record at home, clearing those totals by an average of 6.2 points game. They've got no quarrels about running with Golden State again, and the Warriors haven't played 3 consecutive road games under the total all year long, 0-2 OU last 2. Nothing should change much from the first 2 meetings from a flow and pace perspective, and with the Warriors allowing 123.2 points per road game this year, and OKC allowing 116.6 game overall, both sides should be able to reach the 120+ mark and push this one up and over. Our total pick is over 241 points. Brooklyn Nets vs Houston Rockets. I like the Brooklyn Nets, -8.5 on the road, as I see them being the better team on both ends of the floor. According to DuncanThrees.com, the Nets have the 12th highest adjusted offensive rating, and they have the 3rd highest team shooting percentage. They will find consistent open shots throughout this game, and I expect them to cash in. The Rockets have the 29th lowest adjusted defensive rating, and they are allowing the 27th most points per game. They have had issues defending on the perimeter and near the rim, as the Brooklyn Nets will consistently score throughout this game. But I can't say the same about the Rockets. They will struggle to keep up as they are only scoring the 29th most points per game and they have the second lowest adjusted offensive rating. They will go cold at different points in this game, which will allow the Nets to pull away. Yes, Brooklyn lost 2 stars at the trade deadline, but they have shown that they can compete over the last 2 weeks. They will be ready for this game and they will dominate on the road. Pick the Brooklyn Nets and lay the points, -8.5. Over their last 5 games, these two have a combined 231 points per game, but extended out over the season that average dips down to 223.8 points per game. Together they have had 65 of their games go under the total this season. Houston proved that they could put up points against San Antonio, the worst defense in the league. In the 5 games prior to those wins, the Rockets averaged 104.4 points per game, par for their course this season. They have scored 110 or less in 5 of their last 9 games. The Nets' 5-game average isn't bad, but in their last 4 games, it dips down to 109.8 points per game. Brooklyn has scored 106 or fewer points in 4 of their last 8 games. The under is 6-1 in their last 7 games versus a team with a winning record, and it is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between these teams. Take the under 229 points. Utah Jazz vs Dallas Mavericks. I am going to ride with the Dallas Mavericks to cover the spread at home, as I see them being the better offensive team in this game. The Jazz could also be without Lauri Markkanen in this game, as I see this being a massive loss on the offensive end of the court. Utah will struggle to efficiently score throughout this game, as they only have the 16th highest team shooting percentage and the 18th highest 3-point shooting percentage. They will struggle to score on the road, and the Mavericks will slowly pull away. The Jazz have had issues on the defensive end of the court, as they won't be able to slow down Luka and Kyrie. They are one of the best backcourts in the NBA, and I see them consistently scoring throughout this game. Dallas also has the 7th highest adjusted offensive rating, and they have the 9th highest 3-point shooting percentage. They will score from anywhere on the court and cover the spread at home. Pick the Dallas Mavericks and expect them to cover the spread at home. I've already touched on the fact that Dallas has been giving up a boatload of points of late, going 3-0 in their last 3 and 7-2 in their last 9 overall. But in 3 games against Utah this season, the Jazz have averaged 106.33 points per game, in posting a 1-2 record. Utah has also never scored more than 111 points in any of those games. Considering the Mavericks are needing to work on their defensive play and stringing stops together, maybe a date with a team they've generally held down all year long could get things back on track defensively. The Mavs still only allow an average of 111.3 game at home, and that number's ballooned up in recent weeks thanks to these defensive struggles. Shut down a Utah team that doesn't have nearly the talent on the floor that the Mavs do. Utah might finish with a touch over 100 points like they have in earlier meetings. It's enough for me to take a shot with going under this total, as Utah could show a bit more pride after giving up 139 in OKC over the weekend, and Dallas desperately needs to find answers on defense before the playoffs begin. A home game against a lesser opponent is a great time to iron out those issues and finding things that work, so I do expect the Mavericks' defense to be much better than they have. Hopefully it's enough of an improvement to keep this game under the total. Memphis Grizzlies vs Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers continue to chase the playoff spot, and I'm expecting them to take full advantage of Memphis's selection problems. Even if D'Angelo Russell and Mo Bamba don't suit up, Anthony Davis should dominate the Grizzlies in the paint. Without Steven Adams and Brandon Clark, Memphis will have a tall task to slow Davis down. Ja Morant's absence is a huge blow for the Grizzlies' offense. The Lakers will miss LeBron James a lot, but I'm expecting Anthony Davis to make a difference. Los Angeles is 5-2 at TS in its last 7 games overall, and 3-1 at TS in its last 4 showings at home, whereas Memphis is just 1-10 and 3-8 at TS in its previous 11 outings on the road. Our team pick is the Los Angeles Lakers -2 points. The Lakers held the Warriors to 39.6% shooting from the field, while making 44.2% of their field goals. Anthony Davis tortured Golden State for 39 points on 14 for 25 shooting from the field and 10 for 13 from the charity stripe. He also had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and a couple of blocks, while Austin Reeves amassed 16 points and 8 dimes. Our total pick is over.